Good morning, Midland, Texas, Buddy Webb. Hey, I got a story today that I want to talk about Keith Turman, okay, a landman here in Midland. And in on September 14, 2017, I got this email, and you can see the address, Keith Turman, landmangmx.com, secret police, okay? And it's not long. I'll quickly read it to you. I want you to know that we've been tracking your every move on Facebook. We're a tightly trained group of people who do not go by the secret police. I want you to know that we're here to stop your every move and trying to prove your story. First of all, you and I know what really happens that night. You really shot yourself because we disbanded you from our sister organization. We will have you banned from Facebook if you continue to go forth with these lies. The first time you and I crossed paths was at Wallace's Frost Top in the early 80s. We have been watching you ever since. We in the movement want you to know that we will succeed at all costs. Have a wonderful week without Facebook. And remember, we are always watching, whether it's by drone or camera feed. We see everything. Okay. And so basically what had happened at this time, I did get blocked off Facebook for a week after I posted a video called Killing One Homeowner After Another. And it showed the evidence about Mike Lawhon, the previous homeowner, and it's becoming really clear that that's what they're doing, that this home is connected to the crimes. That's why hundreds of people have tried to talk me into moving while under the threat of death, etc. So it's all connected to the home. And obviously, so this gang that he's talking about, this crime gang, was involved in the murder the last time and then tried to murder me. But I think the biggest thing I took from this very first email was that you and I crossed paths at Wallace's Frost Top in the early 80s. Okay. What that is a little small town restaurant in my hometown. Nobody would know that unless you had been there. It's not a national chain. And so I when I read that, I'm like, that's a true statement. That couldn't have been made up. And what that told me was this gang that tried to murder me in my home, a very powerful gang, has been stalking me since the 80s. Okay. And so I replied, and here you can see that the BCC, I blind carbon copy the U.S. Inspector General Horowitz, which that was actually I got that address from U.S. Congressman Conaway, because that's when he first told me to contact, that was Conaway advised me to contact Horowitz. I blind carbon copied. That means Keith doesn't know these people are getting this email. And then it also goes to Jerry Morales, who is the current mayor of Midland, that now has me blocked. You can't even contact him. Price Robinson was the former chief of police of Midland. Okay, so that's who sees my reply, sees his email, that I've got. Which basically it's just more confirmation of the capital murder attempt on my life and the crimes at this home. And I say, Keith, you admitted to felony stalking going back 25 years, which makes you a top person of interest in the capital murder attempt of my life, as well as the other suspected murders, such as Mike Lawhon and the young girl who I was told was murdered at the 2010 oil show party. I'll be contacting law enforcement. I think you will find that not all police are dirty and or sneak into homes to cover up failed murders. Do not ever contact me again. Okay. And then at that point he's been advised to not contact me, but this guy's a stalker. And later we're going to find out that he stole the real Keith Thurman was actually in jail, and I have a phone call recorded with him, and we're going to listen to that afterwards. It's amazing. Okay. And so here's Keith's reply. I see you posted my Facebook profile on your page. I have not admitted to anything. This was all a joke. Dude, you need to get a life. No one shot you. I'm 34 years old. How would have been stalking you in the early 80s? I've never been to Hobbs. There's a special place for people like you. They're called State Hospital, where they dope you up and put you in a straitjacket. Have a nice life if that's what you call it. Okay, so here let's analyze what this stalker that stole Keith Thurman's ID said. First of all, he never been to Hobbs, but he knows where Wallace's Frost Top is. How would you know that? You wouldn't know that, right? And that's what he said. He's the guy that said that, right? But I think when he said, I'm 34 years old, I think that might have been a slip. And this stalker that's committing a felony here, this is felony stalking, and is probably connected to the capital attempted murder and all the other crimes. that'll tie him back in. And one of the reasons that I forwarded that, or a blind carbon copied all that law enforcement, because I wanted them to trace this guy's committing crimes, right? Here's a stalker, he's involved in the capital attempted murder, and so here here's my reply right after that. Once again, here I'm blind carbon copying law enforcement. And of course, it has been so frustrating with law enforcement because I don't feel like I can find a cop that's not dirty. I keep going. I keep telling everybody not all cops are dirty, but everyone I talk to, it's the same story over and over and over again. They all seem to be wanting to cover up capital crimes, 10,000 burglaries at this house, this home being rigged, the murder of that little girl, the murder of the last homeowner, the capital attempted murder of my life, But anyway, a blind carbon copy the chief of police, Bryce Robinson. When it goes to the Department of Justice, see that, DOJ, U.S. Inspector General Horowitz. Okay, it goes to Major Creighton McGee. It was head of of this area for the for DPS, for the Department of Public Safety. He's over the Texas Rangers, Creighton McGee. Okay, so they all get to see this reply, of this whatever psycho that's contacted me. Okay, Keith, if you double check, then you'll see that I didn't post to my Facebook page, and it was words that you posted. So what I did, I copy and paste for you to read. The first time you and I crossed paths was while I was Frostop in the 80s. That's what the guy said. Okay, so his message doesn't make any sense anyway. And that's what I said a minute ago. The evidence is definitive that I wasn't shot with my own gun, which makes this a capital attempted murder. I was home by myself when criminals came to my home with guns and shot me by surprise just weeks after my life insurance book were taken from my home. My sister-in-law, Mitzi Webb, saw them when they were gone and has confirmed this. This case isn't based on my testimony, but irrefutable facts that are posted in public proving it. I don't know if you were the shooter, if you're just assisted with this capital attempted murder, but it's clear that you have some involvement since you're harassing the witness. Furthermore, a half dozen people are documented claiming there's an underground facility near this home, so it's game over for the people who are breaking into homes of good citizens to murder them for property and life insurance. Your own email, which I've already sent to several different levels of law enforcement, speaks for itself. The smart thing for you to do is sing like a bird so you don't win the big prize, which is life in prison. Many times the first one to talk gets to make a deal. I told you to not contact me again, but you continue with this stalking. Do not contact me again. Okay, and then there was attachments I put in there. The proof on the size of pellets, the 2.5 sizes difference. Rhonda Denman Rogers says the underground facilities half block away. Ricky Ronaldo said he'd been in the tunnels under my house. Life insurance booklet showed there's a $500,000 if Rosa Rodriguez rules my murder an accident, And then the Google Earth picture shows it looks like a big ditch was cut from the Home Depot coming to my house. Okay. And keep in mind that I know this is going to law enforcement. This stalker that stole Keith Turman's name doesn't know that. Now I'm gonna let you listen to the message that I got from Keith Turman. It's really interesting. And he's going to tell you how he was framed by April Chandler. That was one of the secret police, one of the key players here, And so I'll let you listen to that.
See why I'm calling you real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, I was arrested for aggravated assault. You were correct, but I was framed. I was arrested by a police officer named April Chandler.
Okay, I'm very familiar with her, right?
I had never met her before, but I was doing land work with a coworker, and we got more or less an argument. And he stole my identity and pretty much tried to falsify documents in my name. And so when I confronted him, he pulled a gun on me, so I left. And the next thing I know, I'm being arrested by April Chandler and Detective Williams.
Williams, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, he's from Hobbs.
Really?
Because I've been through your Facebook. I don't want to make you freak you out or anything, but
No. I mean, many people. I've had 2 million views on videos. I just let you talk about April Chandler. My story about her, right?
right. And so while I was in jail, the county jail, friends tell me that, people were emailing you with my name, Keith Turman.
Right.
And that's impossible if I'm in county jail.
They had your password.
Right. So now I've got to figure out some way to fight this.
Well, see, and the thing is law enforcement can track that, and that's why I was forwarding them emails to the chief of police, to the sheriff, to the Texas Rangers, because I wanted them to trace this guy, because
Like they're in on it, though.
Huh?
I feel like they're in on it.
Well, I mean, I'm the crime victim. I'm the one shot and left for dead in my home, living under a death threat.
Yeah.
And and as far as April Chandler goes, I have caught her lying on police reports. She was under the secret police in my home. Police report shows she's not even here, right?
Well, I hired a private PI, and he did a background check on her, and he found paperwork on her that shows that she's receiving large amounts of money.
That makes lots of sense, because I felt like she's on the tape.
But a local cop doesn't get sums of payment of like $50,000 at a time.
Right. Well, there's something big going down here with I've always suspected human trafficking. I've had multiple people tell me there's an underground facility near this home. I believe it's connected to the death of the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon. He died 2 weeks before I moved into this home. And then, like I said, I have absolute proof, without a doubt, April Chandler lied on the police reports.
I think there's one under the North Walmart, too. And that's where I was doing block landman work there. And the minute I started trying to lease that out for drilling, for royalties, that's when all this stuff happened to me. I was told to stay away from it, and I didn't.
Interesting.
This is a picture I found in the paper, and what it showed was where rookie police officer April Chandler was getting a badge pinned on her when she first become a police officer by her husband Michael Chandler, and so and I believe this was June 2011, so it was about 6 months before she was inside my home, and so I wanted to show you that picture. And then on my security camera, when I returned from the hospital, I found pictures of police here, ordered the police reports, and I wasn't given a police report showing police were here. And that's what made the secret police. And 7 years later, I found out they were hiding it. Even it was subpoenaed. They were illegally withholding the police report. Now we know that the reason that it was withheld is because it showed that police were in or at my house when they wasn't seen on camera. Thus, they came from under my home. They were under my home, and very possibly it was police who shot me, the would-be killers, etc. And so, in this picture at 3:46 a.m. on 129, just a few hours after I'd been shot, you can see April Chandler here with her hand in a bag, and this is Rosie Rodriguez with a camera in her hand inside my bedroom. And then there was an attempt to disable the camera, and they accidentally started it, and so they didn't even know they were having pictures taken. And of course they were planning on withholding the police report, so I would have never known they had staged the crime scene. There's a picture of her in my house at 3:47 a.m. and so let me go see what next one here. These are some of the pictures, the secret police pictures. This one's a very important picture because, and it's taken at 3:55. Notice that most all the other police that were in my room, there was quite a few of them, were gone. And it looks like what they did was, that's April Chandler and Rosie Rodriguez, the two main players. It looks like they waited for the rest of the police to leave, and then Rosie Rodriguez planted my stolen cell phone behind my nightstand. And because before I was ambushed and shot, remember Triple Proof shows I wasn't shot with my own gun, so somebody come to my house and shot me, right? And but the reason I crawled out is because I had no communication. It's because my home phone line was cut and my cell phone was stolen. When I got back from the hospital, I found my phone behind this nightstand right here, and you can see April Chandler leaned over the nightstand, and I believe she was planting my stolen phone. And so she's connected with the people that stole my phone before I was shot. As I said a while ago, it's looking like now that we can place police in or at my house and not seen on the front security cameras, then that means they were under my house. So it's real possible that it was police that tried to murder me in my house that had shot me. And so April Chandler and Rose Rodriguez are planting the stolen cell phone in that picture. Okay. And remember, I'm in surgery right then. I'm a crime victim. I'm home minding my own business. These criminals came to my home and shot me. And these criminals look like they're some dirty cops, And so here's another picture. This, once again, without even seeing the picture, the face, I know this is April Chandler, and she's searching drawers. Okay, and it's 3:55 a.m. on that picture, and so it was right after the other one. Okay, and I'm gonna show you. This is an emergency detention form from the hospital. And you see it, Midland Memorial Hospital, April Chandler. And that's what this is focusing on. January 28, 2012. It's at 11:03. Remember, I was seen crawling out at 10:42. That's a very important timestamp. At 11:03, April Chandler is filling out this form. And she writes, Mr. Webb showed paranoia to the extent and then she started to write, he shot, right? You can see SHO, and then she scribbled it out, okay? That he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound to the ankle. Okay, now what was happening, and we know now that I'd got home earlier in the day, I recognized I had another home invasion. I'd been reporting burglaries to my home, to the police, the Texas Rangers, the FBI. I'd been going on 14 months, of these repeated crimes. Now we know there's tunnels under this house, underground facility, all that. His home was rigged for burglary, theft of services, because they're stealing services from me. So it's breaking and stealing from me. And so I got the idea to tie wire my door shut, trying to compartmentalize my house, and unknowingly trapped one of these criminals in my guest bathroom. Okay, and so possibly that what's going on here is that these police who are connected with the tunnels, underground facility, connected with the burglaries and the theft of services, racketeering and all the other felonies that are being committed here, that these dirty police that are connected with that, my paranoia was when I recognized that I was under another home invasion, a felony, a burglary of a habitation, and trapped a burglar in there. And so when she says he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound, I believe what she's saying is because Mr. Webb was home minding his own business and he recognized that a criminal was breaking in his house and he unknowingly trapped that criminal in the bathroom, well, then that caused us to sneak into his home and shoot him. And that's what it sounds like to me. Okay, and that's what I think was the justification. They're trying to blame the crime victim for these murderers coming to my house and breaking. That's premeditation. They had to go from their house to my house with a gun, and of course they cut my phone lines and shot me by surprise. I was supposed to be as dead as the last homeowner, and I got a feeling that this same group probably was involved in the murder of the last homeowner. And so I'm gonna show you. Well, I'm gonna wait on that one. Here's the one I want to show you. I just got a copy of the police report this year. 7 years later, it was hidden. It was even hidden under, even when it was subpoenaed. And now we know why it was hidden, because, as I said a while ago, these police officers here were, it looked like it was Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Hale, and Angel. They were all time-stamped at being at or in my house before my security cameras were disabled by Woodward and Naylor, okay? And so that's where it's like, oh, they were under my house. And I had been told there was a lot of people here. I believe there was some kind of party going on in the underground facility that multiple people said was here. This post, though, what I did was parse out everything to do with April Chandler, okay, on the timestamps from this police report I just got this year, been withheld for 7 years. And what I see here, and I'm going to analyze it up here. According to the police report, April Chandler dispatched to the 7-Eleven 7-Eleven at 10:49, and she's on scene at 10:50. She changes location at 11:07 and states vehicle being left here. So she's leaving the 7-Eleven. She is on scene again at 11:17 at the hospital. Okay. And, but April Chandler was at the hospital at 11:03 filling out an emergency detention form. But according to the police report, she didn't leave the 7-Eleven till 11:07 and didn't get to the hospital till 11:17. There we go. That proved that she was lying. Okay. And then, and I'm gonna expand on that. April Chandler's caught lying on the police reports. It was Rosa Rodriguez that climbed in my truck at the 7-Eleven. Now remember, now the one person that's telling the truth is the crime victim, me, right? And it was Rosa Rodriguez that had climbed in the truck at 7-Eleven. So when April Chandler filled out that report at 11:03, she actually was at the hospital. That the police report was falsified. She wasn't at the 7-Eleven with me. Rosa Rodriguez was, but the police report doesn't show Rosa Rodriguez being at the 7-Eleven. And that was one of the many places in the police report where I find, that they were covering up. Of course, they hid the police report for 7 years because, the timestamps don't match, the names don't match. This was just a mockery of justice. They're covering up a premeditated capital attempted murder of a homeowner been reporting crimes to them, basically. I mean, that's exactly what happened. So anyway, here's your proof that on April Chandler caught lying on police reports, and she continued to have her job. I contacted the chief of police. He blocked me. Literally blocked me. And so here's this is 1:30. I'm shot at 1:28 at night, 10:42. Next day's 1:29, and then at 1:30, April Chandler fills out this. This is a police report right here. She says that I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. Well, she made that up. That come out of her little lying mind, her covering up capital crime lying mind. Okay, and that's an absolute 100% lie. It's a life destroying lie. Okay, and furthermore, let me show you right from the hospital. I was cleared by mental health because of these lies. These lies were being spread around to cover up this failed murder that was going to make the friend of Rosa Rodriguez rich, my ex-wife. Okay, and so anyways, here it is right here. Attempt was made to place me in a mental home because we thought that the police department required that he not go home. Eventually found out that wasn't true, and he'd been cleared by mental health services. So it's cleared. These are lies, life-destroying lies made up by April Chandler, and 48 hours after I crawled out to survive a premeditated murder attempt. My phone line's cut. And even Rosa Rodriguez, her partner in crime here, she personally contacts the hospital, tries to have me committed like she's some kind of doctor, and here I'm cleared by mental health at the hospital. That is how dirty this is. Remember, I'm the crime victim, home minding my own business, been reporting crime. And this comes from the narrative of of April Chandler, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but April Chandler spoke with the victim, which is me, and I explained, and here he was locking up his house for the night with his 12-gauge shotgun, and it slipped and it fell and it shot him. Okay, here's the whole problem on the whole deal. Buddy is acting irrational and has mental health issues. Buddy told Chandler they're digging tunnels under his house coming in. Okay, so here she's trying to make me crazy, but here's the whole thing. Let me see how this is actually Rosa Rodriguez saying she contacted Chandler at the hospital in regards to self-inflicted gunshot wound. What was going on here is that they switched places. April says, I'll tell you what, I'll pretend that I'm at the 7-Eleven and you pretend that you're at the hospital, and we'll both lie. And so both of them are caught lying on police reports to cover up this premeditated murder attempt. Remember, I wasn't shot with my gun. Automatically somebody come to my house and shot me. And guess what? We got 2 police officers lying. And here's Chandler saying I was advised dispatch to 7-Eleven. Well, and we saw that in the police report. But remember the timestamps from the hospital to the police report, and I'm telling you, it was Rosa Rodriguez that climbed into my truck at the 7-Eleven. It wasn't April Chandler. So both of them are lied here, and so I just wanted to finish that up with just part of the lies from specifically this one dirty cop, and that's the same one that Keith Turman was saying that she was getting $50,000 at a time. I suspected that bribe money was paid, and probably the rest of them secret police got some. And if we can ever find a legitimate law enforcement officer to do an investigation, maybe we can find that's what they're doing. They're getting bribed to help murder citizens report crime. This is Buddy, Midland, Texas.